Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
They have cold beer and action on the game.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
It's time for the Degenerates Next Door.
Dollar bills, y'all.
How many beers are too many? Are the Rams really any good? Why do the gambling gods hate me? These are the questions we're going to try to answer and unlock here in the next 40 minutes or so. My name is Jason Hammer. I host a Hammer and Nigel show here in Indianapolis, Afternoon Drives. Rob Kendall joining me, former elected official, a tax-cutting machine, and a number one rated radio host in his own right. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Look, I'll tell you what. Balling on a budget, it has saved me so far this season. I'm pretty mediocre. I think I'm 2-2 on the regular picks, but that balling on a budget with those plus odds, baby, that makes up for a lot of gambling woes.
And speaking of gambling woes, how are your Chicago Bears?
Stinksville. Now, let me say this because we have to pick on this program. We have a game of the week that we all pick, and then I have to pick the Monday Night Football game. But I am going heavy this week in a personal little side bet because I believe the Bears are bad enough that they could lose every game this year. It could be the first 0-17 team in the history of the NFL. So in order to ensure that's not going to happen, I'm going to buy a win, which means right now the Cowboys are getting 1.5. I'm going in big on the Cowboys to ensure the first Chicago Bears victory of the year.
It's crazy because just a few weeks ago we thought, okay, new coach, a competent coach. I mean, they had a moron calling the shots a year ago in Flus, and the Bears still screwed around and won a few games. Everybody screws around and wins a few.
Maybe not the Bears this year.
Okay. All right. We'll keep an eye on that.
By the way, I live bet that Lions game, Bears-Lions. It was sometimes Vegas just doesn't make any sense to me. The Bears were down 14 at the half. Any person who watched that game realized the Lions could have won by 50 if they wanted to, and yet for some reason the spread was only 14.5 at the half. There is no such thing as free money in sports betting, but wow, they blew that one big time. That was easy.
That was pretty damn close to free money. I hit lightning in a bottle live betting the Colts in the fourth quarter last week. I was at the game, and the patented Bo Nix bad interception that gave the Colts the ball and the momentum in the fourth quarter, the line was slowly going down. But I was still able to get Colts at plus money at that point, and we cashed that bad boy. One of the few dubs I got last week. It was a rough week, man. We'll get to that here in just a second. But first and foremost, it's not that I need action tonight.
I want action tonight, satisfaction all night.
So last week on Thursday night, we rode the over, okay? 3 straight possessions, 3 in a row. Different teams, but same result, missed field goal. That cost the bet last week. If just one of those field goals goes in, we at least get a push.
That's right.
On the total.
And no bad weather. They just stink.
Yeah. Matt Gay, okay, I get that guy's not any good. The Colts cut him. That's fine. But the kicker on the other side, too. 2 shanks and a miss. 3 straight possessions.
I've never seen that in good weather. I don't think I've ever seen in good weather an NFL kickers miss 3 kicks in a row. And it wasn't like they were 60-yard kicks.
No, 3 straight drives, too. It wasn't like 3 missed kicks throughout the course of the game.
No, 3 consecutive possessions.
So it's been a rough go at it for your boy here.
I want action tonight.
I need action tonight. My bank account needs action tonight.
What sort of game you got, Hammer? Is it an exciting game? 2 evenly matched teams?
Well, Rob, I'm glad you bring that up. The Miami Dolphins may be the worst team in the NFL right now. And they're traveling to Buffalo tonight, who very well may be the best team in the NFL right now.
Is the spread 23?
It was at 12 at one point. And as a gambling degenerate who always picks the Thursday night game, I've been walking around town, listening to Dust in the Wind, trying to figure out a way to beat the house here.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a slump. And 12 is just too many points. Sooner or later, the Dolphins have to be a little bit better, right?
Do they?
Maybe. But the Bills, it's a short week. They're at home. And NFL this year, favorites of 6 or more have been rolling. Like the haves beating the brakes off the have-nots. Yeah. So the spread kind of spooked me off. And I looked at the total. It's 50. All right. I feel like that's doable because I think the Bills can certainly put up some points. And the Dolphins have given up 33 points to everybody they've played. And it's not like they played amazing competition. It's been the Patriots and the Colts. And they've given up 33 points to each one of them. But can I get any help from the Dolphins on that total? Maybe, maybe not. So I'm trying to think of a new way to beat the house. And this is what we're doing tonight. We're going Buffalo team total over 30.5.
Oh.
This is the play tonight. Buffalo team total over 30.5. My fear with the spread is backdoor cover.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo kind of did that last week. They got up so big that they pulled everybody. They just ran the ball. It screwed up fantasy owners. It screwed up gambling degenerates. But I feel like if the Dolphins can give up 33 to the teams they played already, I know it's a short week. I know it's a division game. But I don't think having Josh Allen put up 31 is out of the question. So I'm going over 30.5 team total Buffalo Bills tonight.
Gentlemen, I'd like you to meet your captain, Captain Over.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard.
Captain, your navigator, Mr. Unger, and your first officer, Mr. Dunn.
Unger? Over. Over. Done.
And I got a few prop bets in the game tonight that we're going to put on the back end when we visit the prop shop. But Buffalo over 30.5 total points, team total. That's what we are riding this evening. All right, Rob, you have got the Monday night game coming up at the end of the show, and I really feel like that's probably the best game on the slate. It's not a strong slate of games this week, but I think a tricky, good game is the Rams at the Eagles. The Rams have looked pretty good so far, but then again, they've played teams from the AFC South. The Eagles are at home. They're coming off kind of a sloppy, ugly win, but it's at Kansas City. Anytime you can leave Arrowhead and hand Patrick Mahomes an L, I consider that a good win. Eagles are at home. 3.5 is the line. They are a home favorite. Over under. There's a few 45s out there, but I'm seeing 44.5.
Now, I bet this game, because these two teams played twice last year, and I'm fairly certain that both times I bet this game, I got the number correct. Or whatever I bet, I won. So inevitably, there's no way I'm going to get it right 3 times in a row in the Rams and the Eagles. So I hate betting the Rams because I never know what I'm going to get. I feel like some weeks they're out there looking like world beaters, and then some weeks they look like whatever year the Lions didn't win a game. Was that 2008?
I can't remember the year, but 0-16 Lions.
So freaking hard. The Rams looked really good these first 2 games. Their defense is really good. Their offense could be a world beaters. I don't know. 3.5 is a lot of points. I don't think the Eagles are necessarily as good as people think. I mean, they are the defending Super Bowl champ. I hate this bet. I'll go with the Rams getting the 3.5.
So you're going to ram it, Rob.
Just so you'd play that. I did that bet just so you would play that.
For the 1986 Los Angeles Rams, who want to ram it, and in no way is that a play on words.
No.
Rob is going to take
Am I
the
wrong
Rams.
to hate this game? Like, I just look at it, it's like I have no idea. I have no feeling for it.
I feel like that way on some, but then again, look at my record
Well,
right
that's
now.
true. Yeah.
Like, my NFL record in games is 2-2, but I started 2-0, and I was ass last week. I'm getting beat on ridiculous shank after shank after shank field goals.
Matt Stafford just feels like an old person, doesn't he? But he keeps playing pretty well.
Here's why I'm taking the Eagles this week, Rob.
Jeez.
Because Matt Stafford has played the AFC South, and I want to see how much you've been paying attention. The AFC South is
ass.
Ass.
They're ass.
I know the Colts are undefeated, and everybody feels good about Danny Dimes, but the AFC South is the worst division in football, and so far, the Rams have defeated the Texans and the Titans this year. And they're flying cross-country.
Yeah.
I know that's not as big of a deal as it used to be because it's first class, it's private planes, it's top-notch accommodations, but it's still a cross-country flight and a 1 o'clock kickoff in arguably the most hostile environment in football.
Oh, shoot, I already hate my bet.
Philly fan is going to be waiting for Matt Stafford, and I will lay the 3.5 with the Eagles. So much better than the Eagles. I'll lay that 3.5, which means I look forward to a Rams 45-0 win on Sunday. All right, so coming up next, we're going to get our professional guys in here. Kenny Britt and David Stephanoff. They've been doing really well. We're going to make them pick this game, and then I'll let them pick any other game that they want. And they're giving you free plays. Now, if you want to sign up for your services, you get a heck of a lot more than just 2 games. But we make them give you 2 free games, and those guys, they're damn good at what they do. They're coming up next. We are the Degenerates Next Door. Back on the Degenerates Next Door, I'm Jason Hammer. Rob Kendall is here. And honestly, the game of the week this week is the Monday night game. But Mr. Monday Night, he's got patent protection on that game, copyright protection, so that's coming up in just a little bit. So I think the other big matchup we see on the board here, the Rams at the Eagles. Philadelphia, a 3.5-point home favorite, over under right around 44.5. Let's turn to our professionals. Up first is Kenny Britt of KB Sports. My man, how are you?
I'm doing great, and it's a little bit of a weak schedule this weekend, isn't it?
It is.
Pro football.
It is. It's not a sexy slate. Monday night, probably the signature game, if you will.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
With the Lions and the Ravens, but the Rams, sneaky good, going on the road to the defending Super Bowl champions, the Eagles. What do we make of this one?
Yeah, you said sneaky good. I think the Eagles so far, I'm just talking 2 games, are sneaky not great. They beat the Cowboys by 4, who had to struggle to beat the Giants. They beat a Kansas City team by 3 that really isn't that good right now. So how good are the Eagles right now, honestly?
But that's a good road win, though. Like going on the road to Kansas City.
It is.
Arrowhead is just a monster to play at.
Very loud. Yeah, I agree. But they are winning, but they haven't overly impressed me yet. The Rams, they got Devontae Adams this year, who's really playing well. So my play on this game, I was just this close to taking the Rams with the 3.5 since we had the hook, but I'm going to go with the over instead, the over 44.5 on the game. Last year they played each other twice, and 50 and 57 points were scored. Pretty much the same team. Like I said, the Rams have added Devontae Adams. Weather looks perfect, 72 and sunny, no rain on Sunday. I checked that. So I'm going over 44.5. And just barely. I think the Rams might win outright, and I might sprinkle a little money line action on that, Jason. What do you guys think?
Rams money line right now, give or take, is looking at plus 155. Now that's not that big of a number. So Las Vegas odds makers, they think like you, Kenny. They think the Rams have a real shot in this thing. All right, so we've got the over in play for the Rams at the Eagles, 44.5. What else tickles your fancy, KB?
All right, this is the game I love, Cincinnati at Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy has looked horrible. Carson Wentz is coming in. I think he actually, personally, I think he has a chance to win the job for the year because Minnesota's so loaded. They've got Super Bowl aspirations. A lot of people don't remember Carson Wentz, his second or third year in the league, was going to win NFL MVP until he broke his leg diving in the end zone in week 13. He was playing that well. So I like Minnesota I like their wide receivers. And then you go to Cincinnati. Jake Browning is better. I looked it up. In my opinion, right now, today, as we speak, Jake Browning is better than 10 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. The Jets, Miami, Cleveland, Tennessee, Giants, Bears, Saints, Panthers, Vikings. And I even threw Drake May in there. I think Drake May is a good quarterback. But, Jake Browning, he went 21 for 32 last week, 241, 2 touchdowns, led them on the game-winning drive. 2 years ago, when he had to play when Burrow got hurt, he started 9 games. He threw over 70% completions, 2,000 yards, 12-7 touchdown to interception ratio. And Jason, the most important stat on Jake Browning, did you see his girlfriend show some side boob last week?
Hot girlfriend, yes. She jumped out into the pop culture lexicon 2 years ago in that all-white cat suit that she wore in the suite, and that's when she became America's sweetheart, I believe.
Yes. So, there's a scene in Moneyball where they're all sitting around the table, all the scouts. You know what I'm going with this? Say, well, he's got an ugly girlfriend, and they're like, what's that got to do with anything? And say, well, he's got no confidence.
Right, right. Jake Browning's got all the confidence in the world.
All the confidence. Exactly. So this line actually went up in the last hour. So the game total is 42.5. On FanDuel, you can still get the first half at 20.5. I'm going first half, Minnesota, Cincinnati, over 20.5. I'm not saying Jake Browning is, replacing Joe Burrow, but he can hold his own. I think he is the top 2/3 quarterback in the league as a starter, and I think Wentz is going to be better than McCarthy. He can't be any worse. So I think we're getting really good value with 2 backup quarterbacks and that line being so low. So first half, over 20.5 on that game.
I'm with you. I like Wentz in this spot. Wentz has the chance to be this year's Sam Darnold, ironically, on the exact same team.
Same team.
And it's only a 3-point game at home, and Minnesota is tough at home. I like Minnesota in this spot. Like in the battle of the backups here, I like the fighting Carson Wentz's here at home.
Yeah, and, Carson Wentz, he gets the luxury of playing Cincinnati's defense, which is a joke.
Right.
They're like Swiss cheese. So that's just another reason I like the over, man. I this over, before the injuries were reported, was 48-49 on Sunday night, Monday morning, and it went down to 41.5. It jumped up just before you called to 42.5. So I think we're getting really good value at 20.5 on the first half. That's 14-7. I really actually love that bet.
All right, my friend, if somebody wants to become a client of yours and get the NFL, the college football, the horse racing, the baseball, everything and in between, where can they go?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, KB Sports. Baseball playoffs are starting in about another 10 days, and football is going strong. We got a lot of great games this weekend on Saturday. So KB Sports on Facebook, and everybody have a great weekend. And be careful, man. Vegas is cleaning up on Saturdays right now. We gotta fix that. Vegas is killing us on Saturdays.
Damn right. My man, we'll do it again on Tuesday for the college show.
Can't wait.
Let's now go to another professional handicapper, a dude that's been rolling, absolutely rolling, David Stephanoff, followneverfade.com. David, how the hell are you?
Thank you, Hammer. NFL's been kind to us. We're 15-3 so far. Let's stay hot.
So, again, the game of the week, I honestly feel like it's the Monday night game, but Rob has got copyright on the Monday night game. He's Mr. Monday night. So we're going to go with the Eagles hosting the Rams. I said earlier, I think the Rams are sneaky good. Matthew Stafford looks pretty solid so far, but they're going cross-country into a pretty hostile environment here. 3.5 is the line, 44.5, give or take a few points, depending on where you're finding it at. That's the total. Where are you leaning?
It's going to be a good game. Rams are one of my picks to make it to the Super Bowl from the NFC. Eagles, Eagles are tough. They've come off a big win versus Kansas City. Rams competition hasn't been very good the first 2 weeks. They took on, I think, Tennessee and Houston. Not been very good competition, I don't think. They're going across country. I like the under in this, Hammer. I think the Eagles' defense is pretty good. I think the Rams' defense is pretty good. I watched most of the Rams Tennessee game last week. Tennessee had a lot of short fields because Rams had some turnover issues. But I really believe the under 45 in this game is the play, just based on. I don't think the Rams are going to score very much, regardless win or lose on the Eagles. I think the Eagles at home defense is totally different than what they are. They're getting better. Don't get me wrong. They showed last week versus Kansas City. They stopped the only person to beat them last week was Mahomes with his feet. Besides that, they dominated the game on the defensive side of the ball. I think Rams here are not going to score a lot of points. I know they have two good receivers, but I think here it's just a bad matchup for the Rams against the Eagles versus their defense.
We always talk about West Coast teams coming to the East Coast. This is an early start. This is a 1 o'clock kickoff in Philly. Does that have any play here? Because like guys like me, and I'm sure you too, David, we're about the same age. We grew up hearing about that, West Coast coming to the East Coast for an early kickoff thing. But man, these guys are flying first class. They're staying in the first class hotels. Is it really that big of a deal?
I don't think it is. I think it would be later with the weather was bad. I don't think with the weather not being bad, it's that hard to deal with. I mean, it's just like going on. You're going on you're going on a work trip basically. But with the weather being bad, I don't think I don't think it comes into play as it does later in the year. When you go to Buffalo across the country, or when these warm teams have to play the winter. I don't think so. The Rams are receiving a lot of vets. Veteran coach, veteran quarterback. I think they'll be ready for it. I just don't think their offense is up to the task to move the ball too well against the Eagles.
Yeah, and it's like you said, a big step up in class against that Eagle defense compared to the AFC South teams the Rams have played so far. What's the other one that you have circled on your card?
Hammer, yeah, I got a stinker for you this week. We're going to try to stay hot, though. I got a stinker. I like the Carolina Panthers. It's 5.5. It's 5.5 right now. We're going to bite off the 5.5, make it 6. I'm going to contradict myself here a little bit. I'm going to buy the 6, but I think they can to win this game. But 5 is a horrible number in NFL football, so we're going to take the 6. I like Carolina in this spot. I think Atlanta is overvalued here off their win versus Minnesota, and Minnesota's going to turn out to be not a very good football team, I think. Now you got division matchup at home, getting the points. Last week's game versus Arizona looks a lot worse than it is on paper. It was a 10-3 game right before halftime. Carolina's coach made 2 horrible. He just fumbled the timeout situation. Arizona got 10 points in a matter of like a minute and a half for no reason. They shouldn't have got it. Second half, Carolina fired up. They came almost all the way back in the game. They looked great. They got the running game going. The quarterback he's still a young quarterback. I think you got 2 young quarterbacks in this game. Michael Penix laying 6 points on the road. No, not for me today. Not for me Sunday. I'm going to jump on the 6 points of Carolina, and I'm definitely sprinkling money line. I think they can get a division win at home versus the Falcons.
Yeah, home divisional dogs, man. You know how I live with those folks. The Bears crapped the bed for me a couple weeks ago, but for the most part, man, I'll always hitch my wagon to an early season home divisional dog.
You're right. It's that's the trends. The trends lean that way. It's over 60% most of the time the home dogs. Let's get it together this week, Hammer. I know you've been cold. Let's turn it around. Let's turn the ship around. You're the captain of the ship. We need you to put some winners, Hammer.
Yeah, I'm the captain of the ship, and right now the ship is the Exxon Valdez, and it's crashing in the ocean. But we're trying, brother. We're trying. Hey, if somebody wants to become a client of yours and get not only the NFL, but college football, baseball playoffs are coming up. You're a tennis machine. Where can they go?
Hey, everybody, you heard my football record. It's unbelievable right now. No BS. You can follow me Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. You get my football package. You jump on my football package, you get NFL and college football for the regular season for one price. I'm giving you baseball, the playoffs, and the rest of tennis for the year for free. That's a hell of a value. Like I said, my NFL record's unbelievable. Football record 17 and 15, still winning record. Baseball, we're over 50 games, 60 games of 500. Pretty good. But follow me everywhere, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Follow them. I'll get a lot of free plays, especially on Instagram. Shout out to Kenny Britt. Shout out to Mayor of Brownsburg, Rob Kendall, and you, the captain of the ship. Let's get your record turned around. We need you up there in the standings by the end of the year, Hammer.
Yeah, my bank account agrees with you. David Stephanoff, follow, never fade. My man, we'll talk on Tuesday.
Thank you, Hammer. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Man, all the pro handicappers are laughing at me. I'm the charity case right now. Come on. We need to have a big night tonight. All right, coming up next, we will have a little drive down to the prop shop. And honestly, Mr. Monday Night, Rob Kendall, he's got the biggest game of the week. And that is coming up next. Back on the Degenerates Next Door. All right, kids, go hit the can, get in the car. I got the keys. We are taking a little trip down to the prop shop.
I take you to the
Prop
shop. I let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep on going till you hit the
prop bets. I've got action on. Let's start with tonight. I'm already on the Buffalo Bills team total over 30.5. But how about Buffalo wide receiver Khalil Shakir over 40.5 yards receiving tonight? So the line on his receptions is over under 4.5. So that tells me Vegas thinks 4 is the number. Let's use 4 as the baseline here. Assuming he catches 4 balls, 9 of the last 11 games where he's had 4 catches, he's gone over 40 yards. He had just 1 catch last week, but Sauce Gardner was on him, and the Bills blew out the Jets so badly, they just ran the ball and pulled starters early. Take that out of the equation. Last 3 games against Miami, Shakir has gone over 40 yards each game. We're going to ride the lightning. Khalil Shakir over 40.5 yards receiving tonight. How about this one? Tua, longest completion, over 34.5 yards. This is my logic on this one. One, the Dolphins they can't be as bad this year as they've been in the first 2 games. It's a division game. I do think Buffalo's going to have the lead, which means Miami's got to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. And maybe, just maybe, Tua wants Tyreek Hill to shut the hell up. So he chucks a few downfield, and maybe there's a broken tackle. Maybe Waddle breaks out of a tackle. I don't know. But I think the Dolphins, if they're going to compete in this game, or if they're going to be behind, they're going to have to throw the ball. Longest completion by Tua, over 34.5 yards. Dalton Kincaid, the number here is 2.5 receptions. I hate this bet because there's so much juice to it. If you want to buy it up a little bit, go ahead, but I'm saying 2.5 is the number, but it's an insane amount of juice. Last 4 games against Miami, Dalton Kincaid, his lowest catch total was 4. A minimum of 4 catches in each of his last 4 games against his opponent. So give me Dalton Kincaid over 2.5 receptions. I'm not parlay guy, but if you want to get some juice with it, parlay that with Davon Achane. Anytime touchdown for the Dolphins. Achane plus 110. So you get plus money that helps offset the juice of the Kincaid bet. Anytime touchdown for Achane. Those are my props for tonight. As for Sunday, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes of your Indianapolis football Colts, over 206.5 yards passing at Tennessee. We're going over that total because last time I checked, you can throw the ball on the Tennessee Titans. And 206.5 is certainly not that big of a number here, assuming the Colts players are healthy. Keep an eye on tight end Tyler Warren and the slot receiver Josh Downs for the Colts. If they're in the lineup, we're going to ride this over. If they're not, abort. Carson Wentz back in a starting position, over 1.5 passing touchdowns against Cincinnati. You get plus 163 on this. I think this is a great spot for Carson Wentz. This feels like deja vu all over again for Minnesota. Sam Darnold comes in last year, resurrects his career, ends up signing a free agent deal that makes him a lot more money. Carson Wentz is the best quarterback on Minnesota's roster right now. And Cincinnati's secondary and their defense stinks. Over 1.5 passing touchdowns for the bearded wonder Carson Wentz. And this is one I feel like I make every week, Rob. Bo Nix, over 0.5 interceptions at the Chargers. Chargers are pretty good, man.
Yeah.
They're playing pretty good ball right now. Harbaugh's going to send everybody at Bo. And just when you think he's got it figured out, the fourth quarter rolls around. Here comes a back-breaking, crippling INT by Bo Nix. Over 0.5. Those are my picks at the prop shop. Now, as we've been talking about all day, I think the best game of the weekend happens on Monday night. And that's where we need Mr. Monday Night, Rob Kendall. The Lions at the Ravens. Lions fresh off putting a 50 burger on the Bears. Ravens had their hearts ripped out of their chest by the Bills in week 1, rebounded. Now we're looking at this one, and it's a 5-point spread. Ravens are a 5-point home favorite. Over under right around 52.5.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's no such thing as a freebie, but I felt like that Chargers given 3 against the Raiders was one I really liked, and that cashed this past Monday. This one, I don't know, man. I mean, look, you get 0 points for beating the Bears. That doesn't mean anything.
It's like beating the AFC South.
Yeah, and I mean the Ravens. I mean they're basically 2-0, right? I mean they had an epic collapse. Other than that, they're 2-0.
Yeah, I'm basically undefeated in sports betting this year too, Rob.
I mean,
I don't think it works that way.
What all the things that went wrong for them to lose that game? I mean, they dominated that game against the Bills until the end. They're not going to let that happen again. I think there's something to the Lions. One, I don't think they're as good. I don't think the window's closed, but I don't think they're as dominant as they were. And I think there's something to the Lions playing on grass, which I believe the Ravens field is a grass field. Got to pick one of them. 5's a lot, but I'll lay the 5. I'm taking the Ravens.
I love you're such a Bears fan. Your logic is, man, the Lions basically had a bye week last week. And you're a Bears fan. You're 2 games into the season, and you just are filled with so much despair that it brings joy to my cold, dark heart.
Was I not texting you during that first game against the Vikings when you were all fired up? I said, it's over, man. But they're winning, Rob. It's over. It doesn't matter. I've seen this play before, and they lost that game, and, man, the Bears stink.
But one thing that has been on fire is your cheap-ass bets on balling on a budget. Right. We have made a small fortune by you being just a tight, miserable bastard. Cue up the band. Let's do the thing.
This happens to be a $100 minimum bet table. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at one of our lower stakes tables.
Oh! All right, you cheapskates. It's time for Rob Kendall's Ballin' on a Budget.
Very tight with $1.
Nobody makes cheaper bets than Rob and turns them into gold. What do we got?
Well, we are entering week 3 with another we continue to bet against these same 4 teams until they win parlay. This week, we've got the Packers minus 450 at the Browns, the Colts minus 210 at the Titans, Seahawks minus 405 versus the Saints, and the Chiefs minus 270 at the Giants. You put them all together. Packers, money line against the Browns, Colts, money line against the Titans, Seahawks, money line against the Saints, and the Chiefs, money line at the Giants. It gives you plus 208, which means a $10 bet would pay you $20.83.
Any concern about the Colts at Titans? It's a divisional game. Home divisional dogs usually bark, and I don't know how I feel about the Colts as a favorite. Now, they're 2-0 against the spread this year as dogs, but it's different being a road favorite in a division game. Any concern?
Well, a couple things. One, it's just money line, so all they got to do is win the game. But 2, I've just got to keep betting against the same 4 teams until it doesn't pay out.
You never walk away from the table when you're on a heater, and the heater is fading these god-awful teams. All right, let's recap the board here. Thursday night football tonight, I'm on the Bills. Team total over 30.5. Monday night football, Rob, You are on the Ravens. You're going to lay the points against the Lions. The game of the week that we've got, the Rams on the road at the Eagles. I'm going to lay 3.5 with the Eagles. Rob's going to scoop up the points with the Rams. Our professional handicappers, David Stephanoff, a follow it, never fade. He's under the total. Kenny Britt of KB Sports, he's over the total.
Oh,
so our handicap guys
dude.
going head-to-head. David is on the Carolina Panthers. Hold your nose and just take that +6. And Kenny Britt, first half total, over 20.5, Cincinnati against Minnesota. To hear the ballin' on a budget, to hear the prop shop, just go back and re-listen to those picks as well. All right, everybody, let's do this damn thing. Gambling gods, I'm tired of being nice to you. I've been a degenerate for years. You owe me. You owe this guy. I've been gambling. I've been supporting you. I helped pass some of the legislation in this damn state by making sure the apps were a part of the betting bill. It's time you paid it forward.
You know what you are? You're that meme of that guy pointing at himself in the mirror, and the mirror's pointing back at him.
Either that or I'm Clark Griswold melting down at Christmas. For Rob Kendall, for Kenny Britt, for David Stephanoff, I'm Jason Hammer. Good luck, everybody. We will talk to you on Tuesday for the college football betting edition of this program. Until then, may the odds be ever in your favor. We are the Degenerates Next Door.